Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world-changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, to create massive awakened impact for millions of souls around the planet, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. And welcome everybody to another Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. I'm so grateful to be with you. Today, I'm going to do some channeling around really owning your own authority. There's a lot of sense of the idea that there's authority over us. There's a lot of sense that maybe we don't know enough, etc. Recently, I heard, I think it was Tony Robbins, actually, who's been working with people on their stuff for a long time, and I would trust on this sort of knowledge. He said, two of the primary wounds people have are not feeling like they're enough. And when you don't feel like you're enough, what do? You seek out an authority that you perceive to be more than enough, or enough or more than enough, to come in and tell you what you should be doing with your business, your life, or what have you, right? So we, in a way, abdicate our authority to someone else. And when it comes to other things, we look for experts, opinions, or information out there. It could be scientific, it could be just opinions, it could be reason, it could be whatever, right? And we give our sense of power and authority over to others and just adopt what other people seem to think around a subject. And you do it more than you think. Even if you're an independent thinker, we tend to fall into it to some degree, more than you realize. And I always say, like, just come to me and I'll show you how these things I say are true. So I will find like how you're doing it where you don't realize you're doing it. So like when I say have a Coke and a smile, you're like, I don't believe that. That's just an advertising jingle, but they know it's in your subconscious mind. And most of you, even if you don't like Coke, you're thinking, oh yeah, have a Coke and a smile, right? Or the old commercial from the 70s around, love to give the world a Coke. We're still talking about this commercial. The minute I say that, perfect, keep the world in perfect harmony. That jingles with us forever. So these things are getting in our minds, and sometimes we give our authority over to these messages that we've given. So even these subconscious hooks that we give ourselves to, that just naturally get sticky in our brain, sometimes we're giving our power and our authority away to those. Or people say, like, listen to me or else, and we give our power away because we're afraid. There's so many ways we do that, and some of it definitely comes out of we don't feel we're enough, therefore we don't feel safe, we don't feel protected, so we give our power away. So I am going to get into some channeling, but I want to set it up first by talking about the subject. The other wound, Tony Robbins brought up, that's underneath that that makes a lot of sense. Again, it's all perspective, but he says, the deepest one is this, more or less, is that we're not going to be loved. That we're not going to be loved. So if you're not enough, then maybe you're not going to be loved. So you keep scrambling to be enough, to be loved. So in order to get love, sometimes we do tend to get into groupthink. We do tend to try to people please or whatever. We try to go along with the crowd. Even if we have questions about something, we'll just tend to trust it, so that we get that people-pleasing effect, or that therefore, in a sense, feel like we're loved. And I talk about, how science can be a trick, and, there's a lot of bad scientific studies at times that are used to manipulate people. But I also say there's a lot of science that's very good and definitely points in a direction of truth and shows us things 100%, obviously. Yeah, in the physical world, the way our consciousness lined up, yes, gravity is real, all these things. So the people get kind of crazy when I start going after science. They're like, you don't believe in anything, you're a flat earth society guy. Then I'm like, okay, you're really crazy because I didn't say that. So you see how people see, and why would they say that to me is because they've been told if someone doesn't agree with science, they're wearing tinfoil around their head, they're flat earthers. Like, that's what's been given as the idea. Okay, that's the I don't know, there's a term for that. That's the stick man you become or whatever they call it. So I think that's might be a term for that, but I forget. And so, yeah, this black and white thinking happens again for even the more enlightened of us, so to speak, or more awakenedness of us, or more aware people, is maybe more accurate. It can happen. It can happen. It happens again more than you think. How is it an issue? Oh, okay, this isn't really affecting my authority over my life. Absolutely, because every time you give yourself to lies and distruth, you are giving away your power and your authority to live your life from your own connection, your own truth, your own knowing of what's true about life. And so the more we can clear out the false beliefs then that have gotten lodged in our subconscious, the better. And when we're feeling these deeper wounds of not feeling enough or not loved, we just don't give ourselves to them. I'll say one more thing and then I'll do the channeling. And it'll probably be fairly brief, but it'll be a nice little channeling. Is that most of you are familiar with the study, I believe it was in the 60s. I studied this many times in psychology because psychology is part of my background. I got my master's even in psychology. Is the Milgram experiment, where you've got experimenters set up where having somebody give electric shocks to somebody else, right? So give them an electric shock. So you got all these different settings. I don't remember the exact settings, but they're sitting in a chair, they're set up with electrodes. All right, we're going to give them a shock. We're doing this experiment. So they start off at like mild or whatever, like, okay, just give them a mild shock. They're all good with that. Don't worry about it. Okay, I'll give them a mild shock. And then okay, ramp it up more. Okay, boom, do the next round. Okay, just listen to somebody's tell them what to do. All right, now we want you to go to the maximum amount, like, and that after even the last one they did, they could see how, like, oh, how intense it was for the person. Like, it's getting intense now for that person, and like, no, now we got to take the maximum voltage. And they're like, whoa, they're suffering. This is going to be are you sure? Should I really do it? Yeah, it's no problem, just do it. And then they hit the maximum shock. So most people, like very few people, a lot of people would question it a little bit, maybe, but most people would just do it. So they might give a little resistance, they might hesitate, but they would take it to the nth level because they were told it was okay. They gave their power away to an authority. So even though maybe, and then it was all an act, the person in the chair was just acting like they were getting shocked and all that stuff. It wasn't even real, but they didn't know that. So it goes to show, like, there's been other experiments done like that, where if there's a sense of there's an authority, we tend to give our power away, our trust to that authority, and we'll do what they ask us to do. I've agreed to be a part of helping with this experiment, so I will do what you're asking me to do, right? So just okay, that's what we're supposed to do. All right, so if everybody tells you if you don't wear a purple hat tomorrow, you're definitely anti-science, then okay, we're all going to ridicule you for it. Then we're using authority on you. We're also using the idea of you're going to be separated, because if you're not wearing a purple hat tomorrow, guess what? We know you're anti-science now. People are going to be judging you. If you want to deal with that, just don't wear a purple hat tomorrow. You'll see what happens. So it's very much a lot of things going on in this world today. Definitely at times with the idea of this is supposed to be for a higher purpose, but it's really using manipulation tactics very strongly, shaming tactics very strongly. And it's not love. It's not based on love. It's not based on love and understanding. It's not based on our own authority when we just give in to groupthink and pressure and shame. So when we get in our own power, we get past all that, and we start making decisions from what we feel is true and correct. And that's, what you're going to hear probably more from me again, more and more again and again, here on this podcast and other places, because it's intense, in the world today, and we can't prosper, we can't thrive, and we can't maybe even survive if we don't operate out of our own authority going forward. All right. All right. So that's my little talk on all that. So don't give in to the idea you're not enough. Step into your power. Don't give in the idea you're not loved. Step in your power. You'll feel self-love. You'll feel like you know what you're doing because you're having more confidence. And yeah, if you don't know things, you know what? You'll become aware of them along the way. Nobody knows everything. Nobody knows so-called enough. Yet you know everything you need to know. Just trust yourself. Okay, let's see what comes through the channeling to support this. So like I said, it'll be maybe a brief channeling, but let's do a little bit of channeling. Do you want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free meditate, make money meditation today. Probably Archangel Metatron I'm hearing, and others will probably come through and share some things with us around owning your authority. Okay, you're the authority, you're the power, and so it is. Okay, so that's just like a quick little vibe just to get things started. I'm going to do some vocal toning in a moment, then we'll get started. Jesus, come home back into your hearts. You are precious in the sight of all that is love, all that is beauty, all that is joy abounds and sees the magnificence you always are. Lead and guide the way from your heart, knowing that's the biggest difference you can ever make. Know, yes, as I have spoken to, that all the rest is given unto you from there. Allow yourself to unite with your brothers and sisters, those that you feel drawn and close to within your soul, within your deeper energy. If you open that circle of love, holding hands with them, bring into the circle all that is requiring you an answer of love. In this way, you are taking charge. You are bringing yourself back home, bringing all back home from these circles. If you let it be so, it's already done. Thank you. Archangel Metatron. Power yourself up. We're here to answer your prayers. You must become decisive and strong. Land into the deeper energy of that you are. Be in the power that you are. Know that miracles are performed from the strength of who you are. Be not just a wispy soul that meanders, but be one that takes a stand for what you know to be true in your life and in the world that you live in. There is no exact right or wrong from a mental space, but there is that which you're taking a stand for, that you know you're meant to be leading, that which you're meant to bring your energy to. Answer the call. Thank you. Gandhi, okay. The world receives the peril. Perilous fear of the tyrant that lives within all. that you'll be stricken with illness, disease, and pain, living with a sense of lowliness and shame. You're to cower to this tyrant is a cowardly way to live. But the tyrant is your friend. Give love to the tyrant within that shows up as the so-called tyrant in the world. Give your loving heart and space to the good that you see within what you're calling the tyrant. Let the love and creativity show the way for new solutions and answers to come to them and to come to you, that allows all to prosper and to be well, as you're operating from love and strength rather than fear and shame. For you know all that you need to know in an instant, every step along the way, as you listen intently to life itself. Let this be your authority. Let this be what you obey and listen to and take advisement from. Watch how the magic flows through you for the higher good of all. Thank you. Namaste. Namaste. All right, great to share with you all. If you had your eyes closed, just coming back, let's just give thanks. There's so much more we could get into. I just wanted to give you something brief for today. Let me know what's coming through for you, what insights you're having, what downloads are you having yourself, how are you feeling maybe shifted through what just came through this time together today. Maybe write it down, maybe journal on it a bit, make a new declaration, make a new decision for your life. All right, so as always, you can check me out at yoursacredpurpose.com, get your free Meditate and Make Money that I always talk about. Get your downloads and activations for money and more through the Meditate and Make Money meditation. And check out everything else at yoursacredpurpose.com. If you're looking for more support to rock your sacred purpose, you can also check me out at my Facebook group, Rock Your Sacred Purpose. Okay, get a little wobbly after these channelings sometimes. So check it everything out, and continue to tune into it here with me. Like I always say, keep on tuning in, and we'll keep on rocking it here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Till next time, everyone. Listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Wednesday and Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.